found a recipe on TikTok, so let's try it and see how it comes out. Go put your apron on and meet me in the kitchen. Hurry up. So let's get into this oatmeal cream pie recipe that I found on TikTok. If you know anything about oatmeal cream pies, especially if you grew up eating them, then you already know how nostalgic it was for me to be making this. Now that I'm starting to venture away from making custom cakes and getting more into baking, I've really been enjoying the chance to make desserts that feel fun and special to me. My son was taking a nap. I had a little break from mom life. I had my music playing and I was just in my zone. It was peaceful, it was quiet, and I was creating something that I was actually excited about. I remember growing up and being so excited when my mom would come home from the grocery store because she would always bring a box of oatmeal cream pies. I loved them so much. She would have to hide them from me. I've actually been craving an oatmeal cream pie for a while now, but I refuse to go buy a box from Little Debbie because I know myself and I would eat the entire box in about 2 days. So I figured if I made a homemade version and ate the whole batch in 2 days, that wouldn't be as bad. Now, I did have to make a few adjustments, and one of them happened completely by accident. Somehow I ended up using bread flour instead of all-purpose flour. And I realized something was off while I was mixing the dough because it was a lot thicker than I expected. And at that point, I already knew I probably wasn't going to get the exact texture that I was hoping for because I was really trying to get as close to the Little Debbie version as possible. And the reason why bread flour is not ideal for this recipe is because it creates more gluten. So it changes the texture of the cookies. You know how when you bite into an oatmeal cream pie and it's really soft, chewy, and it melts in your mouth? Well, these weren't exactly that, and the bread flour definitely played a role in that. But let me say this, I'm actually really proud of myself because once I realized the mistake, I kept going. Me probably would have said F it and thrown everything away and tried again another day, but I stuck with it. Now, another adjustment I had to make was adding a little extra brown sugar because I didn't have any molasses. And I know what you're thinking, like, girl, aren't you a baker? Why are you making these rookie mistakes? But in my defense, the flour was in a clear container and I never labeled it as bread flour. So I just assumed it was all purpose. With the molasses, I think I thought I bought some, but clearly I didn't, and that's not really an ingredient that I keep on hand all the time. One thing that I did not forget was my vanilla bean paste because baby, you need some good vanilla bean paste in your baked goods. I like to use both vanilla extract and vanilla bean paste together because it gives you that really rich vanilla flavor. Now, because I used bread flour when my first batch of cookies came out of the oven, they did not spread at all. They were basically still shaped like cookie dough balls, and that is not the look that we're going for with oatmeal cream pie. So for the second batch, I decided to flatten them a little bit with the palm of my hand, and yes, my hands were clean. I flattened them slightly before baking, and that helped them come out much thinner and closer to the shape that you'd expect for a oatmeal cream pie. At this point, my kitchen was smelling like brown sugar, cinnamon, and vanilla. So I already had a feeling this recipe was going to be a hit. I will say the recipe itself was really easy to follow, nothing complicated, nothing overly technical. It's definitely something that you can whip up pretty quickly. While your cookies are baking, that's the perfect time to go ahead and make the filling. The filling was amazing. Marshmallow fluff is really what gives it that classic oatmeal cream pie flavor and texture. It's light, sweet, it spreads really easily between the cookies. It was so good. And the good thing is you don't need a lot of it. Once you sandwich the cookies together, the filling naturally spreads out. So a little goes a long way. Now listen, if we're doing a little bit of girl math here, I feel like this recipe is almost kind of healthy. I mean, oats are involved. So yeah, I call that balance. Okay, it's time to try it. Let's see. Mmm. Mmm. This is good. This is really good. I should have added a little bit more filling. Also, I feel like it's a little heavy on the salt. Just a little bit. But not too much. The cookies are really good. I love the flavor. Very strong, intense cinnamon flavor. Baby, Little Debbie cannot mess with this, okay? She cannot. All I need to do is add a little bit more filling. And it'll be like 8 out of 10. I won't make the mistake of using bread flour because I do feel like that has changed the consistency and the texture of the cookie. But if once I do it again and I use regular flour, then it's going to make the cookie like super chewy. Like it's still really good, but it would be chewier if I didn't use bread flour. So that's a user error. But I definitely do give this recipe like 8 out of 10 because the flavor, baby, is bomb. Like, Little Debbie, who? Oh, okay.